budget. For the 16-17 budget for the Garrison Park renovations. Mr. Graham.
I believe Mr. White, Councilman White, would wish to speak to that, sir.
Already.
Thank you, Mayor. When we had our first reading of this thing, I want everybody to know I'm all about building this park over there, but I want it done correctly. And I want to make us understand what we're doing before we do it. And I don't know that everybody understands that. The first reading, the mayor indicated that it's in a letter on the fence. Yes. And the city manager was going to address an issue or two, and it could have been the fence, I don't remember on that one. So have we done that, or do we know? I'm going to guess, I looked at that fence, drove around and looked at it.
With the tree fell on it?
Yeah, can be fixed back. If you replace that whole fence, probably a mile, you're talking $100,000. And so it's a good fence. I don't see that we need to tear it down and put one back up, because there will have to be a fence. The other item that I've got that I really don't understand, that we've been told we've got to tear the bleachers down currently. But Field A is in Plan B. The bleachers are on Field A. And I don't understand that.
Well, the bleachers were one of the biggest health safety issues with the whole deal, and that's why it was put on the priority as for phase 1. Which I don't know when we would ever get to phase 2. Mr. Manager, do you know would somebody clarify what phase 1 is again?
I would have to go through the entire shoot match, but I can do that, I believe.
My major, Mayor.
Yes.
My major concerns are we pretty certain, are we guaranteed that we can conserve Field A and can conserve the fence? Because I'm just uncomfortable unless I know that these things can be saved.
Well, Field A is basically not in discussion. I mean, it's not going to be touched. It's not. To proceed past this first phase, you're going to have to start all over discussing phase 2 or 3 or whatever phases there may be down the road. The fence, we did send a letter.
Correct.
Do we have a response?
I have not seen a response, no. My understanding is you had a verbal positive feedback on it.
I had a verbal positive feedback from someone up in the levels a bit, that for safety purposes, the people that write these things, that agree to these, actually do listen to a little common sense. And where the safety comes into a factor on the fence, perfectly good fence, there's no need to remove it, and they're not going to make you remove it. The designers of these parks, for some reason, in certain areas where it's open, prefer them to be more open. Learned quite a bit over the last couple of days at the conference about parks and the facts of see-through type activities where people can't hide, and safety is of utmost importance in these operations. They're probably the backstop for Field A that's been discussed would be the only, if you're going to take away the grandstands, you've got to put up a backstop. So that would probably be the only fence that we'd have to actually add.
The fence is tied to the backstop, the grandstand.
No, you can walk all the way around the grandstand.
But I think they're tied up.
Well, that's what I'm saying, something behind the backstop right there. But the retention of Field A is there.
What they as is.
Yep.
Is this walking trail, the proposed walking trail included in phase one or two that goes around both fields?
It's in two?
Two.
Yeah, I believe it's in
We got a letter from the city manager when he was discussing with Parks and Rec, softball getting back in, may have a big tournament coming in August. And Parks and Rec included in there that we need more fields than what we've got present. So if we're going to keep field day while we're trying to get back in more so in the softball areas like we were at one time, we should keep the bleachers till we decide, because everything you look at on this layout, you can take field day and do your splash pad and all your things that go with it. We were told we need all the field we can get.
I'm just afraid of the bleachers because of the ADA requirements.
What's the timeline of even starting on this project?
The design has already started.
What I mean, construction,
We have to be done in 2 years with this phase.
have to be done 2 years.
Yes.
So at the earliest, when would the grant?
I would not
phase come
expect
in?
us to do any work until probably after the first of the year, spring, because of the design and bidding it and all that. I wouldn't expect anything to happen this year.
So do the engineers dictate the time that things happen, like when the grandstands come down? Is that
Me.
the first thing or what?
That will be, I mean, we can have discussion with that, we can work through that. It'll be part of the general contracting bid, so but yes, that can happen late in the process.
And then if we're doing all the recreation over on B, you've got the stands that are on B now that could be turned right
It'll be
around
turned around.
over A. We still have to get it back, stopping there the way I look at it.
Do we feel like Mayor we could get an answer on the fence by third reading?
I think I had asked about it last week and they hadn't heard he was gonna check on it, so I'll tell him we really need something by the 29th. I don't think there'll be a problem with getting that answer.
Why not redesign it?
I move to approve this contingent upon our answer at the third reading there. Okay.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second on item B. Any other questions or concerns?
Has our city attorney had an opportunity to look at all these agreements before us, between now and third reading?
Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember Harris?
Aye.
Councilmember Shane?
Aye.
Mayor Mayberry?
Aye. Motion carries. Next item under